Hello and welcome to Darkness Ascending presents the North American Amateur Starcraft League, Season number 1, the Finals, bracket 16. This game is the first game between Catechin, who's the red Zerg in the bottom right, and Jjajan, who is the Terran in the yellow top left. They're playing on Jungle Basin, which, as we all know, has that nice, relatively easy defendable expansion. So this looks like it'll probably be a good place for Zerg, just because they have that easily protectable natural. And let's see, just because of my own lack of experience with the Terran versus Zerg game, you're gonna see a whole lot of speculation. But in any case, Catechin looks like he is going to be sending out a drone to scout. Nothing too crazy going on in either base just yet, so we'll have to wait a little while before we can see what they're up to, what people are up to. Terran has typical blockade of the ramp. Just because Terran, you notice Catechin does not have the spawning pools going straight for the natural expansion, which I assume what this is, and the reason for that is easy to see, is because Terran are very slow in getting out those initial couple of units. And look at that drone. It's been blocked in, so he's gonna try to get as much scouting out as he can before the Marines come out. There's really not much hope for this drone right now. You see he's got 2 barracks going up, and they're in positions that aren't really good for those expansions. And if you look at his main here, he doesn't have a gas yet, so it looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of Marines early on. And Catechin sees that he is going to get that Marine out shortly, so decides to just make an extractor. Down at Zerg base, the Terran is scouting, does know a good amount of what Catechin has been doing. We do have that spawning pool is starting to come out. Jjajan does see that there is no current extractor, so really Catechin's only been droning up. Excuse me. Got that early queen out. See Catechin, or rather Jjajan is now trying to clear out that extractor. Still has not taken an extractor of his own. Is instead just pumping out those Marines, as you can see. It's important to note that extractors are good in that they will block your opponent from they will block your opponent from being able to see from using the gas, but they don't actually scout the other gas. You can't physically see if the other player has a gas or not. So he's actually running blind as to what Catechin is doing. On Jjajan's side, he doesn't see if there has been a completion yet. He doesn't see if there are units out, but there definitely could be, that's for sure. Jjajan is also going for a relatively early expansion. We have our first fight. Jjajan is going to be able to take this down relatively easy. Has a decent amount of Marines, just not enough on Catechin's side. Looked like that was more of a scouting force than anything significant. So we do see Catechin, or I'm just going to say Catch from now on because it's quicker and easier for me. He does have that queen out. You see that early creep, which is very important for Zerg, is out. He does have a good force of Zerglings now. Those Marines are going to be able to take down, or should be able to take down, most of these Zerglings, and will be able to take down this Overlord. Unfortunately, I just don't think he's going to be able to get to it in time. There's Queen's helping out there. Still don't have the Zergling speed yet, so you can see that little stutter step with the Marines, which is helpful, which will work very well if you have enough Marines, but in that case the fight was pushed off relatively easily. Catechin lives to spawn more Zerglings for another day. So Catechin is pumping out that gas. I would assume at this point, since he is not upgrading for a lair, that most likely he will be going for banelings, which is a good move when you see that your opponent is going massive marines. And this is odd. He's making multiple command centers. See a nice placement there with the Overlord, because you can see that because of that little graphic there, you can see that he is mining his natural without having much danger to the Overlord. So Catechin does now have speedling upgrade, so he is going to go ahead and scout. Probably going to check the tower, leave one there. Very nice. Kill off his scout and meet up at the door. As you can see over here, we do in fact have a baneling nest. We still don't have that layer upgrading, which is dead giveaway that we will be seeing baneling soon. So Jjajan is now in a difficult position. He is making he's making a ton of command centers. I would assume at this point for the mules. Now this is actually a really interesting thing, because it allows the Terran player to not have to make too many SCVs, and they can just mule up like crazy. And mules, of course, mine significantly faster than SCVs do. I haven't actually seen that before, but that makes a lot of sense. So we got those banelings here. They come in. They are going to be able to bust through. We have only marines here to speak of, so this is a really bad makeup here for Jjajan. And here we go. It looks like those banelings are just going to do absolutely significant damage. And we have so many Zerglings inside the base now. We do have the one Marauder who survives amazingly enough. But there are enough SCVs to keep those Zerglings at bay. SCVs, of course, can repair each other, do have decent amount of hit points, and they are able to push back the encroaching Zergling army. We do save the barracks, so that choke point is now fully restored, and with all 4 of these command centers up, able to make mules and additional SCVs, really that didn't do, I mean, it did a lot of damage, but it wasn't so deadly that it would cause too much of a problem. So Jjajan is opting to put down yet another barracks. The supply depot is able to stay alive. SCV is able to repair it. Catechin is just pumping out units. Although we see obviously the Terran is, because of all those mules, is really pushing ahead in income right now, which is going to mean he's going to be able to just push out a ton of Marines, and some Marauders too. And it's important to note that Marauders take less damage, take only 20 damage from those banelings. So if you put those Marauders in front of your Marines, then they will actually soak up a lot of the damage that those banelings would have done. And it looks like again a good amount of damage done, good amount of buildings killed, but still not enough. Jjajan is holding on to it very well. Let's take a look at the units lost. Red, you see, has lost almost double the amount of units, but of course Zerglings are inexpensive, so about the same amount of units have been in value have been killed. So really no clear winner at this point, but Catechin is definitely keeping him on the defensive. However, at this point, if we're going to take a look at not income, but resources, yes. If you look at the resources, Jjajan is just, it's because he has that intense income,